Hello, friends and devotees of yoga and Buddhism. Uh, Today is June the 20th, 2019. It's Thursday also. We are nearing the end of the week and we are advancing gradually into summer. Folks, my job today is to expound to you guys, to bring to you this great discourse, series of discourses in Master Singyung's Library of Wisdom, which I discovered in my study of Buddhism. Master Singyung is such a great personality. The founder of Fo Guangshan, which is one of the largest, I think is the very largest Chinese Buddhist organization in the world today, and one of the largest Buddhist organizations in the world today, responsible for building so many universities all over the world, institutions of higher learning, temples, hundreds of temples, including the African Buddhist Seminary, Bronkhorstspruit, South Africa, which is the first great effort made by any Buddhist authority to teach Buddhism in Africa to Africans and others who reside in Africa. Here are the treasures of wisdom from the great master Singyung of the Fo Guangshan Foundation. In the past, Confucianists advocated that great men should better the world when in power, and they should better their own person when not in power. Likewise, Buddhism teaches the upholding of the 5 precepts and practicing the 10 unwholesome deeds as ways of establishing and enlightening self and others. The following are some keys for doing this. 1. Benevolence is being frugal with oneself while being generous with others. Benevolence is being frugal with oneself while being generous with others. It is difficult for a wealthy family to cultivate the way. It is more difficult for a poor family to give alms. Truly benevolent people are those who can give their clothes and food away to those in need. Moreover, they are thrifty with themselves, but generous in giving. They are committed to a life of simplicity and frugality, but still give to the needy. Sharing what they have with other people signifies they are mindful of others. Such virtuous giving is how the benevolent conduct themselves. 2. Righteousness is being benevolent yet having few expectations. The wise and saintly take the initiative to practice kindness and compassion to help others without ulterior motives. In giving, do not keep thinking about it. In receiving, do not forget about it. Is a well-known motto. Buddhism teaches the emptiness of the 3 aspects of giving: the giver, the receiver, and the gift. We need to truly appreciate the emptiness of self and all phenomena with no desire for a repayment of good fortune. Furthermore, even if we are insulted or slandered, we can still be compassionate and not extinguish our desire to give. Giving without any expectation of being repaid is a display of righteousness. The world today needs righteousness and the virtues of being selfless and generous. 3. The 3rd golden key from the great venerable master Singyung of the Fo Guangshan. Decorum is being personally righteous, yet also passing it down through the family. Throughout history, decorum has been a core value of the Chinese people. Confucius said, in life, treat one with civility, and in death, bury and make offerings to one with civility. It is more precious to pass down morals and righteousness to our future generations than give them money and property. Hence, societies would prefer morality and would settle for less money. Righteousness is the real treasure of a family, a nation, and one's life. 4. The fourth golden key. Wisdom is having civility, yet also teaching our children. It is not enough to cultivate civility for ourselves alone. We need to teach our children and grandchildren the same. Because the truly wise will instruct their offspring in the meaning of morals and righteousness. We often see people who uphold ethics and practice compassion, but they indulge their children with a life of dissipation. Consequently, no matter how good a reputation the parents have earned or how much wealth they have acquired, their legacy will only be ruined by the prodigal life of their children, which is sad indeed. We're going to summarize this great wisdom treasure from the Venerable Master Singyun. In summary, or in a nutshell, Master Singyun writes, Mencius taught benevolence is having the heart of mercy. Mencius instructed, benevolence is having the heart of mercy to help others, and righteousness is having the heart of shame for unwholesomeness. Decorum is having the heart of respect or being respectful of others. And wisdom is having the heart of right and wrong. That can distinguish between them. Confucius and Mencius believed everyone could become a saint and a sage, and they are still admired and respected by so many people today. Likewise, the Buddha taught that every being could attain Buddhahood. The Buddha taught that every being could attain Buddhahood. Every being could attain Buddhahood. Because all sentient beings have Buddha nature. All sentient beings, humans and animals, have Buddha nature. Don't forget these things. Write them down, guys. Write them down. I'm just, the volume of information is large. That's why I'm going quickly through them. But I need you to be very articulate. Write things down so that when you go back to your study, you go back to your personal library, you sit down on your throne of being a great man or a great woman. You sit down as the Buddha instructed to go into yourself and start reflecting and meditating on these things. You'll find a lot of treasure. A lot of treasure you've collected. You've gathered a lot of treasure with your time. You make the best use of time. This is important. Okay? So write and then reflect and meditate on these treasures. Okay. All sentient beings have Buddha nature. Therefore, on the journey of life, we should follow the examples of the wise and virtuous. We should become role models of ourselves and go on to help others so that we can establish both self and others. Reflect and meditate on these treasures. They are so wonderful and so glorious. Namo Amitofo.